Here are 10 of the scariest recent discoveries. Number 10. The buried centaur. In a surprising turn of events, archaeologists were doing routine excavations in the small French town of Évreux before a construction project was going to start. Excavations revealed what at first glance appeared to be a centaur buried inside a small necropolis. What they thought was a centaur at first was actually a grave with the bones of men and horses stacked on top of one another. The way the skeletons were found, it looks like the human skull is attached to the skeletal neck of the horse. The surrounding graves had similar findings. According to researchers, the deliberate act of burying horses and humans together is entirely unique to France. To this day, nobody is sure what the purpose of such burials were. Number 9. The millipede swarm. In Japan, there is a disturbing phenomenon in which horrifying swarms of millipedes get together in such massive clusters that they are able to disrupt the entire country's train network. If you're wondering just how problematic a swarm of millipedes can really be, these clusters can stretch out to be over 600 feet in length. Even though each millipede is only around an inch long, they put all their bodies together to create the largest and most disgusting massive creepy crawlies in the entire world. Number 8. Knives made from human bones. In New Guinea, ancient warriors used to craft daggers from human bones, which they then used to finish off their enemies in brutal hand-to-hand combat. A recent study published in the journal Royal Society Open Science details how these people engineered their daggers from human bones to make them superb weapons. They took their raw material from thigh bones, but not just anyone's thigh bone. It was always the skeleton of their fathers or other dead men of status in the community who had already proven themselves in battle. These guys literally carved their weapons out of the remains of their courageous dead relatives. They often had elaborate designs and patterns incised on the daggers to project a feeling of power and menace and instill fear. Number 7. Stardust. In a rather frightening discovery, scientists have found stardust left behind by a meteorite that crashed into Australia 50 years ago. And while stardust itself isn't that scary, the fact that the stardust formed sometime between 5 to 7 billion years ago makes the discovery kind of overwhelming and a little scary. According to the report from Science Daily, the stardust has been confirmed as the oldest solid material ever discovered on our planet. When stars die, they pitch the particles that formed in their winds out into space, and those bits of stardust eventually form new stars, along with new planets and moons and meteorites. But what exactly is stardust? The material is a type of grainy substance that was formed before our sun was even born. The fragments are literally solid samples that came from an exploded star. Number 6. The sinister Roman helmet. A kind of creepy Roman cavalry helmet was discovered in Lancashire in the northwest of England. But it wasn't found by professional archaeologists. Instead, it was found by a 13-year-old boy who stumbled upon it completely by accident in 1796. The helmet mimics a sinister face, complete with creepy eyes, nose, and lips. At one point, there was even a sphinx attached to the top of the helmet, but over the years, it has since been lost. Only 2 other helmets like this have been discovered in Britain, making this an extremely rare discovery. The helmet itself dates back to the late 1st century AD. The reason this type of helmet is so unique and slightly eerie even today is that it fit over the person's entire head, replacing their face with a ghoulish, lifeless face of bronze. Number 5. Deer with hair on eyeballs. A deer was recently discovered stumbling through the wilderness of Tennessee with hair growing out of both its eyeballs, like some sort of monster. And not just a little bit of hair either. The deer had thick brown hair literally growing out of its eyes, preventing the animal from being able to see. According to Live Science, the hair covered both corneas and may have been caused by a benign tumor somewhere in the animal's body. The rare condition has been blamed on corneal dermoids, which is something that happens when a tissue grows in the wrong place. In the case of this unfortunate deer, its skin tissue began growing on its eyeballs, which resulted in hair follicles growing from the skin tissue and blinding the animal. Number 4. Invasion of the murder hornet. In a terrifying insect discovery in 2020, murder hornets were found inside the United States for the very first time. Entomologists in Washington state destroyed the murder hornet nest after discovering it in late October, just in time to prevent as many as 200 new queens from each establishing their own nest. As you can imagine, this would have caused a widespread invasion that could have led to numerous fatalities. The nest was first discovered by the State Department of Agriculture, who quickly vacuumed the bugs out of the nest and cracked it open to discover 76 living queens and 108 queens developing inside of their small cell capsules. Murder hornets, also known as Asian giant hornets, are native to Southeast Asia and can grow to be 3 inches in length. They have very nasty stings, can sting over and over, and are extremely predatory. Number 3. Ghost human ancestor. In a rather spooky discovery, researchers have discovered a mysterious ghost population of ancient humanoid creatures that went extinct after interbreeding with the earliest humans residing in West Africa. According to the report from the BBC, researchers have determined that DNA from this ancient ghost population currently comprises between 2% and 19% of the genetic ancestry of those still living in West Africa. Researchers also say that the interbreeding between this curious missing link and modern humans went down about 43,000 years ago. Who were our ghost ancestors? This is proof of just how little we know about our own history. Number 2. Hell ants. A fossil of something known as a hell ant was recently discovered by archaeologists. The fossil shows that the hell ant was in the act of attacking its next victim. This discovery is incredibly rare, as the ant was literally frozen during its attack. It has provided experts with an unprecedented view of how these extinct and hellish insects once hunted using their scythe-like jaws and savage horns. The fossil has been dated at 99 million years old, and it was found preserved in amber in the country of Myanmar. Found along with the extinct hell ant was its victim, an extinct relative of the modern cockroach. Now, what makes the extinct ant so much more horrifying than modern ants is the way that it used its deadly jaws. Modern ants have mouths that move horizontally, but these ancient ants had mouths that moved vertically, and they also had sharp horns that stuck out of their heads. Number 1. Bones beneath medieval church. Archaeologists working in Poland have uncovered a scary hoard of human remains while in the middle of conserving a medieval church. Located in the small Polish city of Gdańsk, it took 2 years of digging out and analyzing thousands of bones. They came out in all shapes and sizes, and dating them has been a challenge. Archaeologists dug up the bones of at least 64 humans, including men, women, and children. Most of the bodies were likely buried beneath the church in the Middle Ages. After the excavations were complete, 3 skulls and a handful of bones were put inside of a wooden casket and carried down into the church's crypt, where the nameless dead will be remembered. Thanks for watching! Bye!